The Acolyte. This is episode 2. So I gave episode 1 a 5.5 out of 10. You can check that video out. 5.5 out of 10 is a bit of a pass. So I'm going to use my space system: story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. And each category gets a score between 0 and 2. So 2 is the best that you can get. For the storyline of episode 2, I'm going to have to give it a 0.5, unfortunately. I think I gave it a 1 last time. And I had a feeling that it would slowly decline because I could just tell that there's not really anything there for anyone to get excited about. So we're learning more about May, who's the villain here, and Osha. Osha's her sister. That she's the good one. So May's the bad one. I wrote the names down because I forgot them. So May's killing Jedi. How? Because she can just do it. Whatever. There's this guy who has literally a force field where you can't touch him, and he's been in there for like 10 years or something. Doesn't need to eat or anything, I guess. And he just takes poison and dies, and you're just like, okay, it's just not very exciting. And you're like, well, there's gonna have to be an explanation as to why she wants revenge on these 4 Jedi, which wasn't clear in the first episode. It's more clear now. As the story becomes more clear, it gets dumber because it's like, okay, so you're showing the Jedi, and he's like, oh, we were trying to do good or something. I really, really dislike and actually kind of despise this whole concept of, oh, the Jedi are either messing up or they're bad guys somehow. And I can just see that this show is going towards that. Like, May is supposed to be somewhat of a, troubled character, or we're supposed to somehow feel something for her, and her revenge is somehow justified. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't read the spoilers like my buddy Sean, who reads all the spoilers. I don't know what I don't know what the storyline is. I did read a spoiler a while back where they said something like, yeah, the Jedi messed up and some people died, or they took the sister away or something. I don't remember exactly, so I guess that was actually what is the storyline going to be. I think it was maybe a rumor at the time. It's awful. I don't think it's very cool. The Jedi are supposed to be the super good guys because you're supposed to want to buy a lightsaber. You're supposed to want to buy the toys and dress up as the guy. They look good. I like some of the costumes in this. I'll talk about the artistry. You want to buy lightsabers. I actually like a yellow lightsaber. I think that might be neat. One guy's got the yellow one. But it's very difficult to get excited for characters if they're flawed. Star Wars is a fantasy setting. It's not really a science fiction setting. Sometimes you get people confuse those two. Like if we look at Star Trek, some Klingons are hardcore battle, fight to the death, fight, die in honor. Some Klingons are a little bit more, well, we're thinking a little bit more, or we want to join Starfleet like Worf, or, we have different aspirations in life. Same with Ferengi. Some Ferengi are hardcore profit. What's your bottom line? Some like, Nog once goes to Starfleet, and then we've got Rom, who's more like an engineering kind of a guy. So that's science fiction. You see a race of beings, and there's differences because they're all individuals, part of a race. Yes, so they have traits, but they're individuals. Fantasy, there's not like an orc that's like, I don't want to kill hobbits. They're cute. I like hobbits. I don't want to kill. Like, that doesn't really happen. The orcs are just the bad guys. So I'm not sure exactly where this is going. To me, the Jedi are the good guys. They are the good guys. Now, you have one or two maybe bad apples, maybe, or, one Jedi goes bad or something, and that can happen. But overall, they should be portrayed as good guys. And there should not be this many bad ones, or at least 4 or 5 or whatever it is that she's saying are bad guys, or justified to get killed. Plus the fact that she can kill them relatively easy, or just have that guy take poison. If he was so upset over it, why didn't he just take the poison? I don't know. It just feels really like hot takes, like, oh yeah, the Jedi are going to be bad guys, and we're going to make this character, we're going to give her some gray scale. It's not going to just be black and white. Well, it kind of needs to be. I need to know who the bad guys are for sure, and who the good guys are for sure. The Emperor's a bad guy, period. I like, there's no, I guess if you look at it from the Emperor's point of view, what are you talking about? Anyway, they're also treating May with kid gloves. I absolutely despise that kind of technique where it's like, She's killed Jedi. Bring her in. That's it. Why are you doing this, May? What is going on? What do you mean, why are you what happened to you? I thought you were dead. Take her down. Now, there was two Jedi in that, so there's two Jedi there, Saul and Kumir or something, the other guy with the frilly hair. You can't take her down? You for real right now? And then there's the girl with the orange. I think it's a girl with the orange. It's like, she's there, take her down. Right? I don't, plus Asha's there. Take this May woman down. What the heck? I hate that. The only reason I'm not even giving it a 0 is that I want to see what the final thing is. Like, why does she want this revenge? Let's see how this plays out. So I'm giving you this last little bit of a chance. I heard episode 3 is a deal breaker though, so we'll see what happens on episode 3. For the pacing, I'll give it a 1. Actually, I didn't actually find it boring. I found Obi-Wan to be quite boring at times, and I found Ahsoka to be unwatchably boring. I stopped after 5 or 6 episodes of Ahsoka, and I thought Ahsoka started out better than the way this started out, but it fell very quickly. I think I gave the first episode of Ahsoka like maybe a 6 or a 7, thinking, oh, this isn't, let's see how this plays out. Quickly dropped and became very boring. This one is a bit more consistent with the pacing, so I'll give it a 1. Artistry, I'm going to give it a 1. I like, I like some of the Jedi outfits. I was never a big fan of them always wearing the same kind of robes and stuff, but if it is a Jedi Order, they should somewhat look the same, and I do kind of like this look. I like the brighter colors because it's supposed to be the brighter times. The reason I'm not giving this a full score of 2 out of 2 is that I feel that they're not really bringing across this idea that everything is nice and pretty. They're always in gutters and stuff, and I'm like, well, I thought the galaxy was at peace. I thought the Empire made the galaxy bad. That was sort of what I thought. And you could say, well, realistically, there's impoverished lands on Earth, right? But you know what? Like, again, this is supposed to be a fantasy. Like, there's nobody that lives at the Shire in a dump, right? There's no dump in the Shire because the Shire is a great place to live. Not, oh, this part of the Shire is a better place to live. It's like, it's all beautiful. So anyway, but still like the costumes, the fights, there's some decent fights and stuff. So there you go. For the characters, this was a tough one. I was going to give it, I think I'll give it a 1. I like Saul. He's the Asian guy. I do like him. I think he's pretty good. I don't mind Asha. I actually don't mind the orange thingy girl. And I don't even mind the other guy. I don't hate anyone in this show. Like, there's a few characters in Obi-Wan where I just absolutely despise them and they're terrible. I couldn't stand like the sight of them. But I'm not excited for anybody. I guess Saul would be the only character that I like. I actually liked Carrie-Anne Moss for the 2 minutes that she was in it. I can't stand May though, and her partner as well. I just don't. I don't know. Maybe they have to expand the story a bit, but I'm not a fan of hers. But I do like the good twin. They're okay. I'll give it a 1. It's a pass. It's okay. I don't hate anybody. Enjoyment factor, geez. I think God. Should I give it a 1? I'll give it a 1. I don't hate anything. I know that episode 3 is the deal breaker one. I don't hate it. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 10. I was going to give it a 4 out of 10. I'll give it a 4.5. So that's like under. They need to do better. I need to see a clear vision. I gave the first episode a 5.5. This one's a 4.5. Do you see the trend? It's going to get worse. A lot of these Star Wars shows actually start off not too bad and they progressively go down. We'll see how this goes. I know episode 3 is the big one. I'll let you know. I'm not a big master of lore on Star Wars, so my opinion could be, you could actually take my opinion as, hey, look, this is just a guy who enjoys fantasy, sci-fi, genre movies. I'm taking his opinion because he's a genre movie fan and I'm a nerd. Or You could just dismiss my opinion and say, this guy doesn't really know about Star Wars. I love the original unaltered trilogy. I like Rogue One, and I like the prequels. Mando season 1 and 2 are okay. Droids in Ewoks and the Ewoks movies, I guess that's Star Wars to me. All these other shows, this Obi-Wan and this, I was going to say Discovery, that's Star Trek. I can't even name them. Ahsoka. And it's not me. Don't care. Didn't watch Clone Wars. Not a big animated guy for Star Wars, at least. I own the Clone Wars on Blu-ray, the whole thing. I'm not a super big fan of animated Star Wars things. I haven't watched any of that stuff. Maybe it's good. I heard Clone Wars is very good. To me, Star Wars is a live action film franchise. That's what it is in my mind. I'm not saying that's what it needs to be in your mind. I'm not angry. You can see. I had some people already complaining about my videos. I'm not ranting and raving. I'm not calling you anything bad. You know, I'm just giving you my thoughts as an observer here. I'm the watcher in Marvel. I do like the idea of a Wookiee Jedi. That's kind of neat. Again, I don't know if that breaks lore. I don't know if they say, well, no Wookiee could be a Jedi. Maybe that was said somewhere. Maybe that was said in one of the prequel movies, which I just told you I thought were okay. I don't know. Maybe that was said. I don't pay attention. The true Star Wars is the 3 unaltered trilogy. That's it. The other things I mentioned, I like, but I'm not dying over. If someone says we're erasing Attack of the Clones, okay, erase it. I don't care. What else? Was there anything else that was interesting? Oh yeah, they did have a larger Jedi. When I used to weigh over 300 pounds, I could have been like, yay, there's a large Jedi. Really, it's silly. How does he do the martial arts part of the Jedi training if he's that large? It's just silliness, and we know it. As soon as you see something like that, you're sitting at home, you're like, you know that's fake. It does kill the believability of it, though. There is that, and there's something to be said for that. You take me out of the world, right, by having this kind of silly stuff happen. So anyway, 4.5 out of 10. I think it's pretty fair. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. And if you've watched till the end and you want to argue with me about it, use the word silver on this one. Let's use the word silver. So that's it. If you do like my Spacism, please consider subscribing to the channel, hit the like button, and that's it, everybody. Until next time.